Had to do some site design and work out those.
It's 4 o'clock already. We're ready to go.
So thank you. My voice is a little under the weather today, but I'll do the best I can. And if I totally lose it, I'll call on my colleagues to take over for me. I'd like to start with a roll call.
Heidi Rieger.
Will Roddybush here.
John Sampen here.
Jeff House.
And we're missing one member who could not be here for family reasons, I believe. But we do have a quorum, so we will continue. Approval of the minutes. Are there any problems?
The only thing was just that we talked before the meeting about the signature sheet of changing my name to your name on it as chair.
I just crossed it off. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so everyone in favor of approving minutes, say aye.
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 And no nays, so that passes. Okay, next meeting, October 28th, end of October. Does that seem okay for everyone?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. Chairperson's report. I'd like to again congratulate Wood County Museum, 50 years of wonderful service, and we've drafted a letter that, were there any major changes, Heather?
No, I just need to know everybody how they want their credentials on the letter, and then I can print it out and have everybody sign it. I heard from Jeff. I have yours, but I don't know if you all want to look at it and make notes, and then I can reprint it before you leave.
Yeah, that'd be good.
I was putting doctor down for several of us. I thought that looked more impressive. What do you think?
Dr. what?
Dr. House.
Yeah,
Is that all right?
yeah, sure. How often do I?
We have a lot.
So
Are you a
that-
doctor, Heidi?
Nope.
No, okay.
Are you a doctor? Guess I'm out now.
So we're going to sign this. I'll pass this around. Should we sign above or below our names?
Above, but I didn't know if you have any corrections before you sign, or go
Okay,
ahead.
I'll read this. The Bowling Green Historic Preservation Commission is proud to congratulate the Wood County Historic Museum for its 50 years of support and leadership in operating the Wood County Museum. Both the Wood County of Ohio and especially our community of Bowling Green are lucky to have this special historic place which promotes so many terrific live events and unique exhibits. We offer here our official thank you for a wonderful service to Northwest Ohio. As the museum moves into its next 50 years, we're happy to pledge our Historic Preservation Commission's full support in helping preserve this treasured resource.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Okay?
And if no one else is changing their name, I'll just sign it as it is. That's
Okay.
I'm wondering if we should consider a similar letter for the Wood County Library, which, as we know, is celebrating its 150th birthday. Everyone would agree to that? Okay.
Good.
So I'll prepare something with similar wording for that. I've been watching some of the virtual APC virtual short courses, which Heather loaded onto our computer for us to watch. I think they're excellent, and in particular, I'm curious, and I found fascinating the handling of the future COAs. We have not had any yet. But I think we need to be prepared as we move forward with the Historic Preservation Commission. And I'd like to suggest that we make that an agenda item for next time
To watch the video?
Pardon me?
To watch the video?
Not to watch the video, but just to discuss our own procedure.
Yeah.
Heather did prepare a form that I think works very well, but I think we should talk through that in advance of having,
And to look at the ordinance to see what it said,
right. So
pretty detailed out.
if we could put that on the agenda, Jeff, for next time. Placemaking award ceremony, October 15th. We're very excited about our being at least one of three that have been, I guess, voted to be winner of our sign project that we did last year. And I know that many of us, several of us, are planning to go. Do we have any? Will, were you going to make the trip? You're not able to, Heidi?
I'll probably go. Probably
Great.
go for the day. I haven't signed up for it, though.
Okay.
I need to do that.
And Jeff, I know you're not able to go. I'm hoping to go in the afternoon and come back that same day, so maybe we could talk about going together. Jan, I know you're going to be going maybe for that one day as well.
I'm not sure.
Okay. And Rose Drain is interested in going also. So we'll have Heather will be there for all 3 days. Is that right?
Correct, yes. Mm-hmm.
So maybe you can talk us up to the judges. Anyway, we're proud of that nomination to be winning, or at least in the pool to win that first prize. So that's on October 15th. So we have a guest today, Hallie Williams, who's Executive Director of Downtown Bowling Green. Thank you for coming, Hallie. I don't know if we've met, but it's great to have you here. And we'd just like to have a conversation with you about downtown.
I should come.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Absolutely.
We may have some people online.
Hi, everyone watching online. I'm like, hi, Mom. Just kidding. Well, thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it. I came into my position as the executive director for Downtown Bowling Green at the end of May. I come to this role previously working for the city of Bowling Green, doing lots of partnership programs with Heather here. So our historic walking tour, those sort of things. So you guys are familiar faces to me, and you guys are doing really important work in our community. I really appreciate all the amazing history that we have. Our community is clearly engaged with that as well, at least what I've seen over my past 3-4 years at the city. And so I'm excited to be a part of that and hopefully can continue that in this role.
Can you maybe give us some background on what's happening from your office? What kind of activities or?
Yeah. So downtown Bowling Green, we are the special improvement district located here in Bowling Green. So we are located from Clay down to Ordway and from Church to Prospect. So all of those properties within that district, they are assessed annually through property taxes, and that's how we receive funding for our work. Our job is to make sure that downtown stays beautiful. So part of that is cleaning up after our fun bar patrons in the evenings and making sure that there's no little leftovers the morning after. So we have maintenance staff going through and cleaning downtown daily, from sweeping to cleaning up, but then we also are responsible for all of our downtown flowers. So our hanging baskets, the pots this year, and we've been doing that traditionally for many years. And then we also handle all of our holiday decorations. We also want to make sure that we're involved and engaged with all parts of our downtown activities. So whether or not it's Black Swamp or Rally BG or even Firefly Nights, we want to make sure that we're representing downtown appropriately and we're getting our businesses engaged accordingly. So I look at my role. Some people like to somebody once called me the HOA of downtown. I go, ooh, I guess that depends on whether or not you like your HOA. Hopefully you'll like me. And so in another way, it's kind of being a cheerleader for the district. So all of our downtown businesses, we want to make sure that we're keeping people downtown, whether or not they're visiting for a hair appointment. We want them to visit longer. We want them to make downtown their own. So when they're coming in regularly, we want them to pop by the coffee shop. We want them to go and grab lunch afterwards. We want to make it more convenient and more beneficial for them to pop into one of our stores and purchase their holiday gifts downtown rather than clicking off Amazon. So that takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of time to get people to believe in the reciprocity of supporting local businesses. And that's deeply, deeply important to our community. It's also important that we maintain our properties throughout downtown as well. We've got a lot of history. We've got a lot of really beautiful assets. And that's something that I've deeply noticed with our property owners and our business owners as well, that they're not just looking at this as a parking spot. You know, they are building owners. They deeply care about their properties. They want to make sure that they're maintaining them and taking care of them in the long run. And so sometimes that requires a little nudge and having some conversations that sometimes we get a little ahead in the clouds, or, you know, we get stuck in the weeds. There's many days where I'm walking downtown and I'm amazed by the beautiful brilliance. I mean, look at that right now. It's how perfect. Heather, you've got a nice view through that window of how beautiful our downtown is. And so sometimes it's hard to focus in on those buildings with some chipping paint or that need some tuck pointing and that kind of stuff. So those are all things that we want to make sure that we're working with property owners on and giving them the support that they need and connecting them to resources that they need as well to help maintain properties.
I have to compliment you on and all the work with you on the banners, the plants, all the things that unify
Yeah.
the downtown.
Thank you
looks
very
good.
much. I appreciate that. It's a collaborative effort. And coming into this role, I was a little nervous, but not too bad because our community is, if anything, collaborative. That's something that I think starts real high up with how the mayor and President Rogers' relationship works, how our police and fire work together. All of our services are working together hand in hand because we all have the same common goals. So I think that's something that's really unique to our community, which I think we can forget how blessed we are with that. But I knew coming into this role that you can't really fail, because we have the right resources. We just have to know who the right person is to ask and ask for help. So a testament, luckily we have a beautiful partnership with the city of Bowling Green, maintaining our flowers this year. I believe we had to rip those all out right after Black Swamp last year, and they're still holding on pretty strong that we might make it to the first frost.
They're really beautiful this year. Every time I walk down the street, I say,
Well, good. Thank you. Thank you. That's fortunately through a great partnership with the city of Bowling Green. We're helping pay for the staffing, but they're hiring somebody to make sure that we are able to water all the plants and use a truck. And so Tom Strigo, one of our volunteers and also board members, he stepped up to help us fill that role this fall because we had a student over the summer, but unfortunately she had to go back to school. But Tom's been great, and he's been watering for us. And so we've got, there's hiccups. You know, we lost a hanging basket or two, and through the painting and everything, it hasn't been super easy, but hard things are worth doing. And the little things matter, like the flags and the banners. And we just did the BGSU flags for homecoming, which was a fun new addition, but a way to get BGSU more involved in downtown. That was a sponsorship through them, working with student engagement and the Alumni Association. So it's every little bit, and it's calling people back. It's showing up and being in our storefronts and maintaining a presence in downtown, making sure that our business and our property owners know that they have a resource in us.
I think, and honoring the soldiers, because we
Yeah.
have a mother here that her son was on one of the banners. And
Yes, absolutely. So, yeah, that's been a wonderful process. Yes, and to clarify, that is through the Bowling Green Community Foundation.
Okay.
And all the banners that they've done. Marshall Adder took a big step in that, and so I can't claim credit for it.
But
and
it's
that's
all-
but again, it's the collaborative
continuity.
efforts and working with the city and making sure those make downtown look good, which it makes it makes
it does.
BG look good. So working together in that is a win for everyone.
I've met with with several parents of future students.
Yeah.
And they've commented many times on how clean Bowling Green is. I like to hear that, and the campus, of course, too. But you've done a great job, and
Thank you.
Thank you for all of what you are doing and will continue to do.
Thank you.
So we're wondering what kind of support, if any, that we as the Preservation Commission can do.
Well, right now I'm in my drinking from a fire hose stage of coming into my position. I'm really impressed with the sign project that was just done. Congratulations, guys. That deserves the award, period, let alone a nomination. So I know how much time and effort went into that. I used to work right around the corner from Heather, so I know how many hours she labored over that, and the committee did. So thank you for investing in projects like that bring people to our downtown. So those are all things that we'd love to continue to work on in partnerships in the future of, how do we recognize our historic locations or our historic spaces while maintaining that culture and feel of downtown as well. So I love everything that you guys are currently doing. I don't have anything on my radar currently in terms of how we can partner together, but I'm an open book. I'm willing to hear ideas that my thoughts are, how hard can it be, So I'd love to hear any ideas or plans that you guys have and let you know that I'm an ally and would love to work with you guys on that. The least we can do is ask.
There are a couple of things that we could at least discuss. One might be a recognition of buildings. This could be something that we occasionally do, or we could devote an entire year to recognizing one of our historic buildings each month. Jeff has kind of headed up our building or house of the month. And we might move into more recognition of some of those buildings. Would that be of interest to you?
Yeah, absolutely. The work that you guys have done for, how long have you guys been running the Historic Buildings of the Month program?
3 years.
Probably at least 2.5, 3 years.
I was going to say, it feels like it's been the entire time I worked at the city. That has had a bunch of success. So if that's something that we can help expand or help amplify the messaging on with our downtown spaces through our online platforms, with our social media. I used to work on the communications team, so I know that was already being highlighted and recognized through their efforts, but we could help amplify that messaging as well. But absolutely, I'm game for that. Now, digging up the history on some of these buildings, you guys are far more equipped and talented than I am, but I'm happy to help ask questions and get you connected to the
working
right.
with the current owners would be
Yeah, absolutely.
useful.
Yeah.
But we have developed a lot of information in putting together the sign project. So that's at least a start.
Yeah, you guys have built a wonderful database.
You might even make recommendations if you have specific buildings that you'd like to recommend at some point. Not now, but at some point.
Yeah. Personally, the Lehman's one of my favorites, but I'm also a beef producer, so I think I just like the cow heads personally. But no, we all of our downtown buildings have certain gems they're certain gems that are each unique and beautiful and amazing. That
I worked on that one for the sign.
Yeah.
And so it will be one of our historic buildings
Good.
within the next year for sure.
good. But no, I appreciate everything you guys are doing. The scavenger hunt you guys did, all of these different pieces, I think are easy ways to get people engaged and get people to downtown, and I really appreciate that.
Other ideas? One of the goals that we put forth when we started this commission was to eventually have a district, a downtown historic district, like we've done so far with North Maple Street. And we know that there will be some resistance from some of the downtown business owners, but
I would imagine that, yes.
that would be something, if you think it could ever go through, and maybe you could assist us and or at least sound out the climate for that kind of.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know what entails for all of that. I'm happy to hear that out, but I imagine that that'll be quite a challenge if that's something you guys want to pursue.
The one main difference between the current designation that's been there for a couple of decades now, on the National Register would be with the local register. If anybody wanted to modify their buildings after they were on the register.
Yeah,
They would have to
that's
consult
going to be
with
a
us.
hard pull. Our business owners and our property owners, they're going to want to be able to maintain the flexibility of improving their buildings accordingly. I think we do need to continue to encourage and support facade improvements. I'd love to see a facade improvement program to help finance some of those things like tuck pointing, painting, those sort of things, I think would be really beneficial. But we have to be careful with those stipulations because it just ends up turning into red tape and we lose progress. But the general consensus that I am seeing from the property owners that they want to maintain the buildings, they want to take care of them. Sometimes finances are tight, but it's worth investing in them and finding the right resources. And sometimes you got to lead a horse to water. And I'm seeing that in my position is I want our businesses to be able to focus on their day-to-day operations within their business. And sometimes we forget about the things outside, like our trash and, the chipping paint. And so sometimes that has to be brought to their attention. And if we can make things a little bit easier for them by providing the right connection or resource, that helps. It makes things go a long way. So it's having those conversations, making sure that they feel valued and appreciated because these buildings are beautiful and amazing. And to remind our property owners of that goes a long way too.
Can you update us a little bit on the situation with the Corner Grill and also with the Clazel Theater?
Yes. Well, I have updates for the Clazel. That is a really exciting endeavor that Brock Murray is going to be taking on that tenant, or he's the new tenant for that property, and that's going to be a new concert venue. Very little needs to be done on the property. That sat empty for a while because the previous tenant, while paying the bills, just wasn't very motivated to do a whole lot else. Or just never got that off the ground. The property owner has been amazing to work with. He wants to make sure that Brock is supported. That I had meetings with them last week, that they're excited to hit the ground running. I believe it's their intention to have some shows as early as October and really be full steam come in the spring. So I think that'll be really, really beneficial for downtown. They want to make sure that the building is taken care of. They're already thinking of, how they're going to take care of their trash and the smoker crowd and those sort of things. So they're cognizant of the history behind the building in the first place, and maintaining that and, keeping the feel of it being a theater and, a event space. So they'll be utilizing that for concerts, but then they'll also offer event rental space too, and trying to support other local businesses in that with catering services, event services, decorating, those sort of things. I don't have any updates on Corner Grill. I've reached out to the property owner. I've not heard anything. My knowledge is that bathroom would have to be made ADA accessible, but I can't seem to get a hold of the property owner. I've also heard that the daughter of the property owner would like to purchase the building, but I don't have anything else on that, or that's never really happened. And so, nope, it's just sitting there, a beautiful relic that I hope somebody would take it on and, maintain all of the features of it.
Back to the theater for just one moment. So Brock Curry is going to be the operations manager. But
He's the business owner.
He is the owner of the space.
He's the owner of the business. He's the current tenant for the property. So Amar Mufla, he is the property owner.
Okay.
And has been for 20 some years. I met with him last week. I go, how are you? He doesn't look like he's owned the property for 20 some years. That he's. I was like, "You're so young." He goes, "Well, you'd be surprised." But he was wonderful to meet with, and he cares very deeply about that space. So
Great. And we should just note that next year will be the 100th year for the Clazel. So we'll want to make a big deal about that.
yes, it's also our America's 250th. We have a lot of birthdays downtown next year. It's Ben's 50th, or I think it's the 50th. There's a lot of birthdays downtown next
It's
year.
also
so-
100 years for the old bank building.
Yes, yes. So
We'll have a lot of celebrations.
yes, I need to I need to see if I can get BGSU's birthday cake that they use for Freddie. That maybe we can just have that a permanent thing downtown. So yeah, we'll see about that, and that is something that's on Brock's radar as well. So I would imagine some type of an event will happen with that space.
Okay. Thank you,
Yeah,
Haley.
you're welcome. Thank you guys. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your care in maintaining downtown and keeping all of BG beautiful and historic. That somebody's got to do it, and hard things are worth doing. So, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Okay, next item on our agenda is the strategic plan. And I'd like to suggest we table that and have a discussion next meeting also, after we've all kind of taken a look at it again, and we can perhaps find things that we want to amend, or at least remind ourselves of where we are hoping to go with our strategies for the historic area. Is that agreeable? Okay. Local designations, buildings of interest. Former South Main School, 437 South Main. Has there been any updates that we're aware of?
I can tell you, I did talk to the owner. I think it was the next morning after your meeting. He just happened to leave me a voicemail, and he wanted to talk to me about some ideas he had. So you may have noticed he actually put the lots up for sale on Prospect, South Prospect. So he does wish to sell those, and the school, though, he assures me that he would like to keep that building. And what I mean by that is he'd like to maintain the building as a historic building. He doesn't want to see it demolished. But I do not have any other information besides that. So I think his focus next is the lots, selling those lots, and then the school from there. And we've been talking to him too because of the interested parties in the lots, and what can they do there? What are the setbacks? So we've had conversations with people interested in buying the lots, and then with the owner too.
Was there any discussion of possibly making this a designated historic building?
I have mentioned to him that a few times. I've even sent him, emails. He travels a lot, and I think some things just kind of get lost in his inbox of emails. I think he had concerns with the National Register that might hold up the selling of the property if he did want to do that in the future. And I tried to assure him that that's not what the National Register does. It's really a symbolic thing to have and opens up the tax credits. So he did seem interested in learning more about tax credits and that he would get back to me. I also mentioned, since he is in California, that we could have a virtual, discussion or meeting with maybe a couple members if he wanted to learn more, and we could hook him up with the State Historic Preservation Office. So he seems interested. I just think he's a busy person, and, his priorities, like anybody else, kind of ebb and flow with what he has going on with his life. So at this point, we at least have his phone number, his email, and we've had some discussions. But unfortunately, the building obviously is still vacant and will need improvement.
Well, thank you for being in touch with him,
Yeah,
because
that's
with-
great.
in my
Like I said, it was
contact
just
with him-
ironic. He called me and left a voicemail, so.
And I noticed that those lots are for sale. I'm wondering if part of my thought is that if whatever happens with it, you might need parking space, and those lots might have been the parking space, but, I'm not the owner.
I understand, and we did discuss that. There actually is more than 3 lots there, so there's Kramer that's in between. There's 3 houses there, and then the school. There's actually lots off of Kramer that are more landlocked than the 3 he's actually selling. So he told me he wanted to keep the lots at the rear of the lots on Prospect. So I don't know if maybe his thought is that that could be parking.
That would be parking.
I'm not sure.
Do you think that monthly contact with him would be valuable, or would be a deterrent to him? Would he accept our continuing to bother him about this?
I'm sure he wouldn't mind me calling him. I mean, he'll call me back if he can.
Since he contacted you, also, when I dealt with him, it was a couple of years ago, but he was very pleasant and enthusiastic too. He was the one who talked about those irreplaceable beams and you know, from original local timber in the attic of the building. you know.
Do you
Great,
think
well-
those prospect lots would be kept, be developed as housing or green space, or any idea?
No idea. I can tell you it's zone pedestrian residential, which essentially would be housing of some sort. Of course, somebody could buy it and want a zoning change. I mean, you just never know what somebody wants to do with it. But I did make sure he has a zoning map because the school is zoned differently than the lot. So the school is zoned mixed-use neighborhood, and that can be much different. You could have, you know, apartments there in the building. You could have commercial. It could be, again, mixed use. So I told him that really is an advantage for that building because it's hard to have mixed-use zoning in this area. And so I just kind of tried to say, you know, that's great. You have that flexibility to be able to have more uses there than you would the pedestrian residential, which is very much more prescriptive for those lots. So we'll see.
Thank you.
Do you think he would entertain a conversation kind of about a vision that we might have for using the school and those lots to develop a whole kind of community there?
I really don't know, Jan. I've talked to him for so many years. You know, since he bought the property, it just never seems to.
Going place.
So, not sure.
Do you know what the price, asking price is?
Yes, the largest lot he's asking 75,000 for, and the other 2 lots are 50,000. And he has a realtor. I can't remember which company it is, but you could just type in, you know, realtor.com or whatever, and land in Bowling Green. They come right up.
Well, let's put it on our calendar. Either maybe you making a phone call or we writing a letter on behalf of the HPC, just encouraging him to work with us and work with the city to try to figure out some route forward. But just bother him a little bit in a good way, I hope. Okay, thank you, Jen. Other possible sites, the old windmill, Hannah House, we talked about Corner Grill in Clazel, Lincoln House, and Jan Knapp's house. Jan, are you still thinking about designating your home?
I would consider doing it, I just don't know how to get started with that process. I'm not sure who could work with me on that.
Certainly one of us can facilitate that. Maybe Will or Heidi.
Sort of like an inventory form.
You guys are pretty good at we just have to start an application.
We need access and just be able to take some photographs and walk around, look at materials like the foundations and the roofing and.
Would you be willing to work with me on that?
Sure.
Great. Thanks, Will.
And if you have any history that you know of, any documents or photographs, that would just help to nail down if you know the date, anything that you already have would be.
When it was built, Dr. Lincoln, there's certain things that criteria within the ordinance that you have to meet certain things. It's over 50 years old. You know, if a prominent person or family live there, that can be the second thing. Those kinds of things. So all I need to do is get you like a copy of the ordinance and the inventory form, because I think that's something that we could get that for you and the owner. Maybe Heidi could put that little package together of the ordinance.
Yeah, it's
Sort
all
of-
on our website too, right on your HPC webpage. So
To print it out and give it to the owner, and they could look at it. Because a lot of the information the owner could fill in for us, like about the history and
Well,
date it was
Jan
built.
is the owner, of course.
Okay. Okay.
So that's no problem. You've owned it for how many years?
47.
Oh, okay.
You know the home pretty well.
Okay.
Inside and out.
Great.
I did want to add just to Hallie's update about the Clazel. I happened to talk to the owner of the Clazel about a week ago. He called me, and he had saw the article in the Blade, and he wanted to talk about the building, and he wanted me to assure the HPC that he wants to preserve the Clazel. You know, it's very important to him. He was very excited about this new tenant. He has a lot of faith in him, and he wants to help guide him too. He also mentioned wanting to repair the marquee and the front facade, that will be kind of their next priority after they get their, I don't know how you say this, their sea legs on, once they get started with the business. But he said I could give you his information. If anybody from the HPC ever wants to call him, his cell phone, whatever, email, I have that, and be happy to reach out. He's a very, nice person to talk to, easy to talk to. So he's just very busy. He travels the world a lot and has a business. And
So where is his home?
well, he has a lot of homes. He's actually from Maumee, where his parents live, but his home base is technically California, but he's in Bowling Green at least once a month to check on his properties and check on his parents. But he has a consulting business and travels all over the world too. So he's just a busy guy.
Well, if he's ever here on a meeting day, we'd love to just talk with him, just to hear what he's planning, but to encourage him with whatever he wants to do. That'd be
And
great.
maybe we can jump on the anniversary next year
Yeah,
as a
yeah.
motivation. huh?
Right. Great. Thank you, Heather.
We could even do the first rerun of a historic building of the month, since a couple of years ago, the Clazel was one.
Good idea.
The other building of interest is the Lincoln House, and I know that the owners are interested in possibly designating that as a historic building. We've been through the house. I know Heather has, Jeff has, I've been.
I have too.
And you did too, right?
And I had contact with Sean Reeves today regarding the historic building of the month for next month. And hope to have that by the beginning of the month, which would be nice, right? I know. But I haven't heard back from her, but I offered if she just wants to send me her notes from her tours, I could put it together into an article if she wanted. Or if she wants to finish it herself, either way, but I haven't heard back yet.
Great. So we'll wait to hear back from her, and then we can
Yeah.
hook her up with one of our experts.
Yeah, in terms of the designation, I'm sure that they need to get the business off the ground and everything together first. But it's good to be planning ahead for it because they're very eager and willing.
Okay, item C, historic plaques. Heather has developed some information for us. I think you shared it with the commission, right, Heather?
I did not know.
Where are we at on that? You had suggested we add the City of Bowling Green, HBC or something.
The seal. We didn't have the city seal on your design, so we should
that's a
add
good idea.
that. I am requesting, our budgets are due on Friday, so I'm requesting money in a line item for the plaque project. And we figure we'll start kind of small and go from there. But first, we wanted to have the funding, and then I can set out a RFP to companies to look for the kind of the best price and quality that we want. And then whoever we end up going with, we can look at the design more closely, but at least we have a format that we can hand to them that we're looking at. So we asked for the 50-50 match where the city would pay for 50% of the plaque. But, to get something in return, you can only qualify if you are designated on our local historic register. So that will be the one criteria we're looking at. First come, first serve, too.
Great. And we really appreciate having that city support for this. You were thinking we could accommodate five owners a year, something like that?
Yeah, we were estimating around $1,000 requesting
Right.
if we could get a 8x8 plaque for around $400, that we would split it 50-50, and then city would cover shipping if that were necessary.
That's great. So is it time to advertise that or?
No. We
Not
were
quite
just
ready.
at the initial stages of putting our budget proposals in. And then from there, it has to, we have a lot of budgets to look at in the city. So
okay. Well,
this will
just-
be a very small, I think, request out of the big picture.
Yeah, we'll just keep it on our agenda. Okay, Friends of HPC, I'm not going to read this today because my voice is failing me. Is it valuable to read
No,
No.
past events? Maybe we should look at what's coming up for the future. But Heather, thank you for always including that. I really appreciate seeing what has been happening. Future workshops and events. The District Public Library has WCDPL digital newspapers, Behind the Stacks, history of WCD. What does that stand for?
WC Wood County District.
Okay, of course. Thank you. This Old House with Kevin O'Connor is coming up October 9th. That should be really interesting.
I have a reservation.
Right. Reservations through, I guess, is that at the high school?
It's through the library.
Yeah, so you register at the library online,
And
but it will be at the Performing Arts Center,
Right.
cost.
no, it's free.
and it's free.
Excellent. Okay. CLG grant.
One more event I should have put on the agenda too was a reminder about the Halloween party at the Lincoln House. That's October 25th from 6 to 11 p.m. I believe there's still tickets available. So that looks like it'll be fun, and it's coming up quick.
And you have to be over, what, 21?
21 or over. Mhm.
Yep.
65?
I think it was $65. Yeah.
It should be fun. Okay. I think we're ready for any lobby visitation.
Sorry, the CLG grant. So we didn't get to talk about that at the last meeting, but as you recall, we got a CLG grant for the signage we did downtown. They actually extended the deadline, which technically was last month, and they extended it to Friday, September 26th. That's something that I think will add to our timeline of grant opportunities and when to apply and when to start thinking about them. But again, every year we're able to apply as a CLG community. So anything that you can think of or the other thing is too, it is a matching grant unless you fit their priorities. If you fit the state historic office's priorities, then you don't have to do a matching with the grant. So that's kind of good news if you can look at their priorities each year and figure out if what you want to do, like a historic preservation plan. So our strategic plan is going to expire technically end of the year. So you could consider a historic preservation plan and that could get funded. So again, just an example, but it's pretty adaptable. And I think I forwarded you the email about the grant and what we could apply for. But that's already Friday. So I mean, I'm happy to do what I can, but we haven't really talked about it for some next steps and what you might want to do.
And the date was what?
September 26th it's due. It was due last month, but they must have extended it for whatever reason. I'm not sure why, so.
Anybody have a great idea?
That can
Well,
be,
yeah, I mean, I read
Or Heather?
this. And I thought it was past the deadline, so I didn't really think too deeply about it. But I was like, wow, this would be really great for us to put on our radar for next year. But
Yeah.
we have until Friday. I don't know. I mean, rehabilitating things, updating our national register would be great because there's a few buildings that are like adjacent to our districts. That would have been nice, but I don't know that 3 days to figure that out. So
Yeah, I mean, I personally think it's probably going to be something that we really focus on and start working on for next
start
the
working.
round. Because
I'd
there
love
is
to
some
have
work
more-
involved. It doesn't just, there's a lot of questions and it's all online and, I mean, it's definitely doable. It's just probably too quick for Friday. But definitely something to focus on and
I
think
think we should
about.
put that on our agenda to think about what we want to apply for in the future.
Look at some examples of other people that have received grants.
Do you know how early they state their priorities for the year?
I'm not sure about that. I'll pay attention to the email when it gets sent to us.
So let's keep that on the
That's the tax
agenda
credit.
for next meeting as well.
That one.
Okay. Any other business?
Anything?
Lobby visitation? Any commentary? Okay. We're going to get out of here by 5 o'clock. We have some people that have to leave by 5. So I think we're in good shape. Do you want to go longer, Jeff?
No, I just wanted to make sure that
Okay.
there were no people who wanted to talk.
Okay. Do we have a call for adjournment?
I'll make a motion that we adjourn.
Second?
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.